So this week, we're going to do auxiliary views. So what do you see that's different than what we did before? When I get back to that. So what's different on here than what we did last week? What do you think an auxiliary view is?
True length.
Well, yeah, true shape, right?
Yeah.
So we're coming off here, and we're, instead of going just side or up, now we're going at an angle, right? So we're coming parallel. The folding plane is now parallel to whatever the edge view was of that, right? So we had an edge view here. Now we're coming parallel to the edge view to get to an auxiliary view. Okay? And so the edge view was what? What was that line? No? This inclined line? What is that line? Can I measure that line and tell how long that line is? Yes, right? This line right here, I can measure and tell how long that is. Because here it was, I came parallel to the line in the folding plane are parallel here. So it means here it's true length. So this is true length. That's true length there. And it's also an edge view, right? So I can see that whole surface as an edge. And so the line, this line here is true length. And the whole surface is an edge view on that, with that line, right? Is that, you guys agree?
Oh, so the whole blue area is
Yeah.
green.
Yeah, that whole blue is that plane right there.
Yeah, so it's true length. Okay.
So when I come and make a folding line parallel to that surface, and I project, now that view is true shape, or true shape and true size, right? It's the right shape and it's the right size. It's got the exact proportions of the surface. Does that make sense?
So TS is true size.
Yeah, true size, true shape. Any questions on this? Where do we get the distances from?
2 views back.
2 views back. So where's that?
At the top.
It's that or that, right? Because I come,
Back one.
here's 1 view back, and there's 2 view, or there's 2 views. So I can go to either view that's 2 views away to get my distance. Okay? And you can kind of see it with M. They're all going to be the same. Questions? That's all this week is. Now instead of drawing straight across, we're going to draw at an angle. And we're going to do that so we can get that true shape. And why do we want that? Why do we want to do an auxiliary view and look at that true shape?
See what it really looks like.
Yeah, see what it looks like?
To say if there's a hole in that slant area, you want to know what the size of the hole was.
Yeah, if there's going to be a hole on the surface, don't you drill holes by looking straight at them?
Yeah.
And so you need to know when you've got that piece lined up on the drill,
Where's the hole
how to position that hole, right? So that'd be a reason.
Or like last week, we had that shape with an angle, and you couldn't see the angle from either 3 of the sides.
Yeah.
So you need the diagonal to
Yeah.
see the difference.
So if you want to see kind of what the profile is looking at, if something's on an angle, it's bent up. What else? Anything else? Yeah, if you want to be able to measure everything on that view, then it'd be a good one. So it's easier to see the measurement there than there, right? It's the same measurement, A to D, A to D. It'd be the same thing. But now I'd have to have that and that. Well, here I can have those both together. Okay? So if you're wanting to figure out the area of something, you can look at one view to get it. Okay? Questions? All right. So let's do that.
Got a couple of students on block.
Okay. Then if your computer is not showing it, just sit at one that is showing it for now. So what do I need to do? What's my first thing I should do? If I'm going to draw my auxiliary view, what do I need?
Baseline.
What?
Looks real.
What did you say?
Folding line?
I need my folding line, right? So I'm going to draw a folding line. Oops. Thought I told it to be. I'm going to just make it parallel that. I'm going to move it. Right? So how would I do that in AutoCAD? Offset, right? I just offset that line, or I'd copy it, put it somewhere else. Doesn't matter how far away I put it.
Isn't that domestic corner the other folding line?
No, it doesn't. They just do that because it makes the views line up nicely. Like here, they made it match the corner, just so they line up nicely. But I could make this line up, right? I could do the same thing here. If I just take this one and extend it. Or I could move it up here. There. It just kind of makes it so that it's not overlapping. And that's one thing to look out for when you're doing auxiliary views. Sometimes when you do it, like if I already have top view, and I put the top view right here, what's going to happen when I do that? I'm going to run into it. So I might have to do it way out here. Or I can do the auxiliary view here and do the top view up here. Sometimes you have to be able to move stuff around. But if you have to do that, you have to move a view. Make sure you move the folding line with it. Remember that? So you can keep the distance between that thing and the folding line the same. So I'm just going to do it right here. And so now I'm going to project. Not like that. Now I'm going to project perpendicular to the folding line. This is going to be real fun since I can't make it lock. Right? Is that perpendicular? They're both a little off, huh? Which one, where does this look good? Right there, it looks good? So I'm just going to take that one and copy it from now on. That way I know they're all parallel. So I projected all my corners up. Right? Same thing I would have done if I was doing a top view or side view. But instead of projecting the corners up, now I'm projecting an angle. And so now things that would have lined up before, if I go up, now they're going to make two different points when I go out. So let's start labeling some of these. So now you see where labeling kind of kicks in. That way you can kind of see what's what. So let's call this.
It doesn't matter what you talk to you go, you know.
So that's that. So actually I've got two here. So there's actually 2 points. So I'm just going to call this. Yeah. See now I've got, this is actually 2 points, that's 2 points, that's 2 points, that's 2 points. So let's see if we can do it without it. And if so, we'll make up some other points. So what should I do now?
Take your measurements
Take my measurements how?
from the Pokemon.
Yeah. So I'm gonna use my compass. Take that. And then where's that corner? So where's this, that distance right there?
Middle of the
They're in
slope.
the middle.
So middle and the bottom, right?
Alright.
So that same distance away, I've got this point and that point. So that's gonna be here, which is here, right? And then the bottom corner, which is here. Right? That's these two corners. Is it any other corners?
The two to the left on the bottom of the middle.
It's
On that
this one
yeah.
too, right? And that one too? So there's those 4 points. So I have 2 here, 2 there, right? So that's going to be a line. It's going to line up on all of those. So I could have just done the 2 outside ones, right? So what else do I have? So now I need this distance, right? So where's that? That's here again, right?
Yeah.
And here, and there, and there. Yep, there's only 3 points there. Because up here there's only 1 point. So I come back here. What? Did I lose someone? Okay. So, did I lose you here? This one? This point right here? That's that distance?
And then one.
This corner right here? That's where the stop went, so it came across and then up.
Okay.
Is that everyone following it now? And I know those points are connected here, right? So it means they're going to be connected here the same way? Kind of get some shapes going. And after we get them all projected, then we can figure out what the exact shape's going to look like. So I'll come back here. Take that, and that's going to be this point. Oops. Right there. This back corner is there, and there's also back corner here, right? And then there's a back corner up here on that one. Is that right? You can see it went through those same 3 points again. So we've got a lot of stuff going on here, right? Got tons of stuff. So what can we do to that? Let's look at what's on the front first, okay? So let's just look at this front angle. We know those are all going to be visible, right? All the lines here on this front plane, they're all going to be visible. You guys agree? Yes? How do I know that all this is going to be visible?
Solid one.
Yeah, because if I'm pointing from the floating plane, it has to hit that first, right? So I know if there's a point on that plane, it's going to be visible. So let's draw that in. So what's on that front plane? That point's on the front plane, right? And so we've only got 2 points on that, so that's an easy one. Right? That's an easy one to do.
Small section.
Let's go up here. Here, there are 2 points, right? So we can connect those two. That's the bottom line, the top line. It only had 2 sections, right? So we can connect that. Top here, only 2 sections. Connect that. The side, there's only 2 points really, so connect that. Now we've got that. What's going on there? Is this going to be a solid line and that a solid line? Yeah, right? So what happened there? Because actually this point that's right here, no, it's solid, right? But it's not on that front plane, because this right here is this surface, right? So that surface right there is that surface, but now since we're looking at it, right, that's not parallel anymore, so we're looking at this surface foreshortened, right? That's what's called when you're looking at
And it's
the
same
surface
width.
that's at an angle to you, it's foreshortened.
It's the same width on the right.
Yeah, this width, the same as that one. Yeah. But now we're looking at the 2 points on it. Yeah.
On our drawers, you just want the surface in question drawn?
Most of the time when you're doing a set of drawings, you'd only do the incline surface.
The surface.
But in here, we're going to do the whole part.
Including the line?
Yeah, because sometimes you want to be able to see the rest of the part. So we're going to practice doing the whole thing. But if you're going to do a drawing that you're going to send out to someone else, then you'd usually just do that front surface to make it simpler. But remember, this class is more about solving the problem and things you might have to do to solve a problem and find where something is. Not necessarily what's going to go on the drawing that's going to go out to the shop. Kind of different point to this class. So, let's see that this bottom corner here is from that corner to that corner, right? So that's going to be our what? Hidden line, right? Yep. That's our hidden line in there. So that's what that part would look like, right? If we had a wedge like that. Do I have a wedge like that? Stole my wedge.
Look in the third one. Next drawer. Third drawer.
kind of the same thing, right? But it doesn't have, that one's flat here. It's kind of the other way. But if, so if we're looking at it straight, right, that's how the side view saw it. And the front view saw it like that, right, with just the edge here. Now if we look at it straight on to the surface, we're going straight at that surface. This surface back here, we're going to see as a rectangle now. Because now that's going to be inclined to our view, right? Does that make sense? All right. So when we do auxiliaries, we're going to turn one surface into a nice full true shape view, but now all the other surfaces become non-true shape. Okay? They become foreshortened. Yeah.
What is that hidden line from?
That in line, this back corner.
Okay.
Right, if you're looking at
so
that.
we're kind of viewing it at 45. Or
Yeah, because
like
you're
that.
looking at it like that now.
Okay.
And so you got the back corner back here. So usually it'd be lined up with the top, and so it would be hidden, or you just wouldn't see it. Now it's going to be moved down, so it's halfway through the part.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
The line in the back, would it be a hidden line too?
This one?
Yeah.
Is it in the middle of the part somewhere?
It's gonna go,
But it's on the, remember guys, the lines on the outside have to be visible. If you look at something, you have to see the outside of it, right? So if there's a line on the outside somewhere, there's nothing outside of it, it has to be visible. Okay? No matter kind of where it is, if it's on the outside, you're going to see it. Any other questions? Let's. All right. So, going into AutoCAD, these are going to be the stuff for this week. I'm going to kind of go through these first ones up here, and then let you guys loose on to redo those and do the ones on the bottom. So this one, these first three should look familiar, right? You did those 2 weeks ago. So we had edge views of the planes, right? So now we're going to go off the edge view and find the true shape of that part. Does that sound doable? And we're going to work it just like we did when you guys made the side views, but now we're just going to go that way instead of going that way. So first thing, folding plane, right? So I'm just going to copy that line over there. And I like to make my folding line stick out a little bit more. So I kind of moved it up a little bit. I might even move it up a little bit more. So it's kind of not right in line with it. Then grab this other grip down here, and pull it out. Make sure it uses the extension. See, extension right there? The difference between that and that. And I can kind of pull it down past the part that way. Turn it into a folding line. Okay? So just use your grips and stretch it out. Use the extension so it stays straight. So I have it now. So now, how am I going to project my lines? And how am I going to keep those lined up? So first thing I want to do,
Perpendicular to your folding line.
yeah. So how do I make a line from there perpendicular to the folding line?
Use the perpendicular up.
I can use perpendicular, so I can draw a line from here, right, to that. Or I can draw a line there, shift right click, perpendicular, there. So I can do that. Then I can take one and copy it. So I can extend that out and copy it there, there, to there, like that, right? So I'll do that. I'll do that this time. And so now I'm going to offset, right? Just like I did going inside. I'm going to offset from A to the folding line out. I'm just going to label it right now so I don't forget it. Now I can delete that line. Offset from B to the folding line out. Copy B there. Delete. Offset C to the folding line out. Copy those. And connect. See how I did it? One point at a time. Find the point. Erase the construction line so I don't get confused. So in CAD, that's a real easy way to do it, right? Maybe it would have been less confusing than the way I did it by hand. So if you have a lot of points, break it down, copy one point at a time. Do the next point, do the next point. Okay? Any questions on that? Alright, let's do a few more. I'm gonna go ahead and delete that line because I don't need it, right? I don't need that folding line. Copy that. Extend it up. Folding line. Go to construction. And this time what I'm going to do is I'm going to connect these points. Just so that I have good connections now. Because I've got more points, they're closer together. I'm gonna connect them. And I might even color code them a little bit. So this will be red. That'll be green. That'll be cyan. That'll be blue. So I can keep track which point is which point. So now, I'm going to be doing a lot of points. So maybe I don't want to copy them like I did before. I don't want to be able to draw new lines as I go. I don't want to have all the lines out at first. So how can I make it so I can always draw lines that are perpendicular to this line? If you had 4B, you should know. What? No. No, that's for isometrics. That's nothing to do here. Look at my cursor. How are my X, Y axes lined up? Vertical and horizontal, right? I can turn my UCS. That's the UCS, right? The user right now it's actually the world coordinate system, WCS. But I can make it into a UCS, a user coordinate system, and turn it. So I'm going to go up here to view. And then I'm going to go over here and pick one of these as object. Object right there. Or you can just type UCS, enter, OB, enter. Yeah, OB, yeah. Or you can click there, object. I pick that line, bam. My UCS is turned. Now this is my x-axis, that's my y-axis. So now when I draw a line, there's my x, there's my y. Doesn't matter which angle that line was at to begin with. So now I can just go in and find point. Let's start with A. So I'm going to line from there out. So offset from there to there. See now why I drew those lines to connect it? Because otherwise I couldn't track down, right? Fine. all my points. And then I can just, how do I get back to my normal UCS? Yeah, if I go back to view, and the world, or I can type UCS, enter. And it goes back to the world also. Now I can go and pick those. So there's that. Okay. Questions?
If you did it from, you did it this way, if you did it, I mean, you have 4 different places, you put it in 4 different pictures, right?
What?
So you have 4 different ways you do it, the auxiliary view, right?
I only have 2. I could have done it here or there. So it needs to be parallel to this.
Okay, it always has to be parallel to that.
Yeah, because if I came off this side,
Uh-huh.
then I just see it from the other edge, right? Right? Because if I'm looking at the plane here, if I'm looking at the edge of the plane,
Uh-huh.
here's my parallel to it. So I'm flipping it like that, right?
Right.
So instead of flipping it sideways, now I'm flipping the paper up like that. But if I looked at it from here, from this side, I just look at it from another edge. Any questions on that? I think, do you want me to do this one or do you want to do this one? You want me to do it? That's kind of like what we just did, right? So, I'm going to copy. Pull it out. Now do you guys see why I like typing commands? So I'm not always having to go like that. So this time I'm going to type UCS. So UCS OB for object. Pick that. Oh, I forgot to connect. Did I really need to connect those? No, huh? I didn't need that. I needed 2 views back. I need this dimension, right? So now I'm going to line here. Oh. I'm going to offset. Do that one too, because those E and F are both on that same distance. There's that. I'll set that. E want to come out and then down, right? Make sure that that line stays connected. Then F over down. Okay? And get rid of that, right? Might as well just draw this one out. Now D and C, I'm going to offset from here to there. Over, down, over, down, right? Am I getting everyone on this? You guys following? Anyone lost?
Totally.
Where?
Well, I understood when you went, I'm going to be from the front view, but now you're going off the side view.
Same thing. Now instead of measuring, because I'm measuring from here now, so that's 2 views away, right? So from here, that's 1 view, 2 views away. So that's where I do my measurement. Remember, you always measure 2 views back. If you're doing the side, you measure from the top. That's 2 views away, right? So it's still, we're just going 2 views back, just where that second view is moves. Okay? Yes, no, kind of.
Yeah.
Maybe when you practice. Okay, so we'll delete that. Offset from A to the line. is, true shape.
So when you did your offset, you actually did click that first blue line, click the outside one, right?
For what? For what?
You went from A,
I went from there to there.
when you get there, you actually click it,
Yep, you always measure to the folding line.
and then you click the next
And you
one.
click this line and tell it which way to go. Just like we did last week and before. Questions? Yes, no? We're gonna change it up a little bit. That's exactly what we did on the board, right? So I'm not gonna do that one again. I'll leave it there for you guys to do again if you want to. But now we're changing up a little bit. Now we don't have lines, we've got a circle that we're cutting. What happens when you look at a circle from an angle? It's an oval, it's an ellipse, right? So if I take a circle and turn it, I get an ellipse, right? So how do we draw an ellipse in AutoCAD? Has anyone used it? I know we didn't do it in 4A, right? You might have tried it on your own, but we didn't do it together.
It's no fun.
It's easy. It's a piece of cake if you know how to do it, right? So today we're going to learn how to do it. We're going to learn how to do it the correct way to get an ellipse the right size for a circle that's on an incline, right? So here we're going to use it as a cylinder that's being cut, but it also works exactly the same way if you have a hole that's going through it at an angle. So I don't need that. Actually, I am going to do that. I am going to do a top view and then we'll do the auxiliary, okay? So, top view, I just need to project, right? And you can use extension or construction lines on auxiliaries also. You just need to look at which way is horizontal and vertical. Just remember, Y is going to be your vertical, X is your horizontal, no matter which way it's turned. So, now I'm going to need to offset. So, I'm going to go from that side to there. Then from that side, then measure from that side to there. Right? And that's really all I need, right? If I do some trimming. And I know those are going to be objects somehow. These two, are those going to be straight lines? No. So I need to get that ellipse in there, right? What does that square represent? The boundaries of the ellipse, right? Because this corner right here of the circle is right here. Those are the same. That's the bottom of the circle. That's right there. That's right there, right?
I don't know, couldn't see it.
Well, let's project it and see. So I come from the bottom of the circle over and up. Right? Stop in the bottom of the circle.
Okay.
And then side of the circle is going to be here and there, right? So I'm going to go to the ellipse command. And what's it asking me? The center of the ellipse. So where's the center of that circle here on this view? Kind of right there where my mouse is, right? How can I pick that point? Midway between 2 points, right? So I have a midpoint here and a midpoint there, and the circle's halfway between those two. So strip 2, midway between 2 points, there, Now I can pick this side as side 1, that side 2.
What's the difference on this?
Doesn't, I could have done either way. I'll just take that and that, go bye-bye, trim, there. From that to an object. And that is how you do ellipses. Make a square. You do an ellipse from the center of this, or you draw a rectangle, draw a circle, an ellipse from the center of the rectangle to one side to the other side. And that makes your ellipse. Okay? They're not really that hard. Now that you know how to do them, right? Before you know how to do them, they're really hard. Once you know how to do them, piece of cake.
So basically it's just 3 points, and that's it.
Yeah. At the center, how far it is to one line, how far it is to the other line. Okay, questions? And that's those. So these are they're on the H drive for you to open up. You can go ahead and redo these ones if you want, and then do these ones down here. So we got one kind of like the first exercise, but now we have this on the top. We have a nice pentagon, right? Got one with a hole the hole is parallel to the incline, or perpendicular to the incline, right? Now the hole is not parallel to it. So now the incline is going to have the ellipse, right? On the auxiliary view. We've got this part here. Do a side view and an auxiliary. What's the side view going to look like? Kind of like the top, but kind of rotated and changed to the right size. Then you're going to do an auxiliary going this way, and an auxiliary going that way. Why do we want to do an auxiliary going this way? Yeah, to see what that slot looks like. So it's got a little slot in the middle. So going this way, we can look at and see that slot from the end. Going this way, we can see what the surfaces look like looking at the slot. Okay? And then this one. So this one you'll do top, front, side, auxiliary. So you're going to do auxiliary here. That surface and that surface are parallel, and they're in line. So, okay. Remember on isometrics, anything that's a vertical line or something on the 30 degree, you can measure. If it's at an angle on here, other than 30 degrees, you can't measure it. So this line here, you cannot measure. This line, you can measure. That line, can't measure. Okay? If it's 30 degrees or 90, you can measure it. If it's not, don't. Okay? And I gave you all the dimensions you should need anyways. Right? Questions? Alright, go do it. Let's take a break first.